If you want her here, I would actually rather her be here to be 100. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass for everyone, but I think she'll provide.
If we can wait. I mean, she's taking a statement right now. So.
Is there anything else, or just the fact that somebody said it was going to put a hit out on a dog?
There was the dog thing.
Did you say that?
Yes.
Why did you say that?
I mean, it was more a joke. I said it in front of a friend because I knew she'd say something to her. I mean, if you want me to be 100% honest.
So were you saying you were stirring?
What? Trainer stirring?
Do you want me to answer honestly, sir, or do I need to?
I want you to answer honestly.
Yeah, of course I was stirring.
Damn it.
I mean, you want me to be honest with you, Dark? You haven't been around, but I've been there have been reports about me that have been complete lies or fabricated versions of the truth, and people calling for me to get fired after I was rehired.
Trainer, it's time to let it go. I know what you're feeling, and I know there was the animosity from the beginning, and I fully understand, and we spoke about this a lot, but I think it's time to move on from it.
Are you I'll make you a deal.
All right, talk to me.
I will move on for it if you tell me, if you answer honestly, and if you answer this question honestly, okay?
All right.
Do you believe that people were fabricating versions of the truth to get me in trouble?
From what situations?
You know exactly. Come on. I said answer. That's it. You had your opportunity. I'm not dropping it.
No, I'm just thinking. I want to answer your question because I don't think fabricating. I think it's different, slightly different, where it was more nitpicking. Well, I think you were being nitpicked, definitely.
Didn't somebody say that I called and told them that I was only apologizing because I had to?
No.
Didn't another person say that I made a tone joke when I apologized to them?
You may have mentioned something about the tone.
Yeah, see, I didn't. Nope, didn't mention a goddamn thing about tone.
Oh, this dude.
You got this right, Candice.
Yeah, I've got this. Don't worry.
Okay.
Where are you going, Dark?
Listen, Trainer.
I need you to be here on behalf of me.
Fuck, I forgot I said those things.
I need somebody to represent me, and guess what? I'm nominating you, so you can't fucking leave now.
I feel like that's inappropriate. I'm high command. You're a cadet.
It's up to Dark whether he wants to stay or not.
I'm a cadet that does more work than a lot of fucking 90% of officers around here. Look at that rate I got.
I forgot about that.
You need to stop.
Tell me I'm wrong.
This is the problem.
Tell me I'm not the best cadet that's ever been on this fucking force.
He got me there. I'm gonna be honest. There was nothing more I could say.
Is it true?
I was like, oh,
no.
They did say that. They did. And honestly, I'd forgot that I'd said that. I was like, oh.
How many raids of fucking pillows of meth did Matt Rhodes get during his tenure as cadet?
Yeah, I paid myself with that one.
He was a cadet for like a week, so
exactly. So 0 pillows of meth.
Damn it, I said too much that day. I really did. This dude. I need to be more careful.
Listen, I think my advice for you, Joanne, is you can be the best cop on the force, but if you keep stirring and, like you said, you were stirring and causing issues, then you're never going to be the best cop because you're going to get fired again.
Okay, yeah, you know what?
Careful.
No. I want you right now to think about their next words out of your mouth.
Okay, I'm going to go say it. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm going to say it in the other room, and then I'm going to come back and not say it.
Okay.
Okay.
Very mature.
Yep. We're working on that right now.
You want me to be a goddamn robot like 90% of the people in this force? Just sit down and obey and be a fucking dog. The reason people love dogs.
Pretty crazy.
Oh God, you got it.
The entire time and they can't make decisions for themselves.
Great job, great job. Let's get back. No one, you can't hear in here. That's hilarious.
There's too many cooks.
Bye, Doug.
I'm not going yet.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
oh my God, Louise, that's you.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
I had no
I've
idea.
seen you arrange a bankrupt for the day.
Johnny, what were you going to say?
Yes, sir.
Listen, I like you, Johnny. This is Richard Dog, not the ass chief. Just please play your cards right and just get to full officer and you can be a bit more of a shitbag, right? You don't have to make friends. You just stop making enemies. Goodbye.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Doc.
Hey, good sentence for you to take. You don't need to make friends, but you don't need to make enemies.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't wrong about that one. Okay, so the reason I've got everyone here today was Louise made me aware of a situation from yesterday with a seizure of a dog. It sounded like, Drainer, you didn't listen to Louise's 311s or multiple calls on the radio to not seize the dog until the right paperwork was done. Would you be able to tell us your POV and we'll have a quick chat about it now?
Yes, I would. Thank you for asking for my my account of that. So I never, during that situation, I was called to clean a scene of a bank breach with the Diamond Dogs. Excuse me, not a breach, but to lead a scene with the Diamond Dogs. The reason for not seeing the 311s, I would assume, would be because, I mean, during that situation, I was put in a very tense situation where we were on scene. There was a dog. It was what was his name? Lee Nova. Lee Nova and myself had actually, funny story here. Lee Nova and myself had established that there was a court case where I had won it against him, and he was found guilty of animal cruelty.
Yes.
I told him that I was coming for the dog, and the honest to God truth was it was supposed to be a little bit of I was going to seize his dog, then he was going to try to come back for it, and back and forth. Unfortunately, I never got the opportunity to tell my side of that. I did seize the dog. I got one off the streets. Then I was told that I just don't listen to superiors. I know Campbell did say something on the radio, but I don't think the situation was necessarily explained in full. I then just got chewed out, and it just turned into give us the dog or you're fired. So I didn't say anything and just handed over the dog.
Okay. Louise, you said from your POV it was a bit more difficult to get the dog back, right?
Yeah, I can give you the POV if you like.
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
So it started at the vault where Lee was established to be on scene. Drainer said that he was going to be one of the targets of the vault, regardless of if he had the money or not. He wanted to seize the dog. And I stated, how come we can't just seize dogs? There has to be the right paperwork for it. And he said, well, Lovesick said so. So I was like, okay, as of right now, we're not seizing that dog until I've got confirmation. So I reached out to Lovesick in the emails, and I got confirmation from Lovesick we are not to seize the dog because he's working on the paperwork. And I made that very clear over radio multiple times that the dog is not to be seized. So Lee is not to be targeted for that reason. The chase goes on, chase is fine and all that. Lee gets caught 1 minute before the storm. He turns up after storm. We're at the meeting. Drainer's on the phone to someone saying how the dog's got to be seized. I'm at the other side of the meeting room, and I've shouted across the room to him, hey, the dog is not to be seized. I've already told you this. Don't seize it. He ignores it. I knew that Booba was the one that put Lee in cuffs, so he was going to be the processing officer. So I 311 to Booba to let Booba aware that he's not to seize the dog and he's to speak to Lovesick about it. That then it either didn't get read or no one bothered and cared about it. The dog got seized. Drainer ended up with a leash. Towards the end of the meeting, Drainer shouts out about how he's just seized the dog off someone and got the dog off the streets from being abused. So I was really fed up that I'd been told that I didn't get listened to like 3 times at that point, and shouted across the room that I told him no and that leash needs to go back to Lee. Pap said that she was going to the prison so she could give him it back. So we asked Drainer to give the leash back. He refused, which then I shouted across the room, you can't refuse when I'm a corporal and I'm a ranger telling you that leash needs to go back to him because it's not getting seized. We take the conversation outside. Both myself and Jenna tell Drainer the process of how a dog is to be seized with the Polito Pets contract. He tells us that he needs a moment to process it, and was like, you don't need to have a moment, you just need to give us the leash, you can process it afterwards. That's all we need. We just need the leash. He refused to tell us where the leash was, and then went on to tell us that he'd ocean dumped the dog. And me and Jenny had to tell him, like, hey, you're saying you've ocean dumped the dog, that is a charge and you will lose your job. So if you're being serious, you need to tell us if it has been ocean dumped or not. And then he said, nope, it's safe, it's in an evidence locker, you guys can't get to it. And then after Jenny had told him, I'm a sergeant and I'm telling you to give me the leash right now, he dropped the leash on the ground.
Okay, can I again, I never saw the 3-on-1s. I heard her say something once. It was pre-established what was happening between Lee and myself. That being said, I never heard her say anything across the room. And if I had walked out of that room and she yelled, to say that I ignored is excuse my language, but it's fucking crazy. The fact that I may or may not hear something isn't necessarily me ignoring it. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the issue I see, right? So I was then explained,
that's quite a
this
few
is
times,
living,
though.
breathing animal. We need to pursue different ways of apprehending the dog. When in reality, this is what I see. A man is and if we want to go based off the living, breathing thing, a man is literally putting his dog constantly in harm's way. The dog's being shot, the dog's robbing banks. I am trying to make sure that animal is okay. And I seize it. And when I do, I'm told, hey, give it back to the dog abuser. We have to keep letting the dog abuser abuse the dog until we could get the right paperwork, which I'm just like, that's why I'm like, hey, hold on. I need a second to process this. This is fucking crazy. Eventually I do it because I don't understand, again, being a ranger, how you could just be like, hey, we can't take it. We gotta deal with Polito Pets where we let people keep abusing animals. And I don't know at that point. I don't know what you want me to say. From my perspective, it was used in the commission of a crime. There's no legislation on it being taken. I was told there's precedence, but there hasn't been a solid precedent case. After the whole thing was done, I went down to the courthouse. Jenny came down. We talked to a judge, and we motioned to file for asset forfeiture after that. So, I mean, I don't know. You could say you're a ranger and you're taking care of the animals, but where were the rangers when all this happened? How come nobody went down, talked to the judge, tried to find a way to do that? A dog's being abused, and we're just going to give it back to the person, and they're going to keep fucking abusing it. Sounded
like Lovesick was already on it, right?
Yes, Lovesick was supposed to be working on the paperwork.
Right, but it's supposed to be. It wasn't, and this isn't a shot against Lovesick at all. But this took place a couple days ago, and nothing happened. The dog continues to be put into shitty situations, and I take it. But guess what? Now I give it back to him because Polito Pets has a contract to allow people to abuse their dogs. I mean, I don't know.
But it's actually opposite. The contract is that it does
of
get
you saying that. It's literally because I work for them, and believe me, you weren't here for the first time this happened, and the absolute meltdown it caused in the city when we tried to see the first dog. We did exactly what you did. We took a dog. And it caused the biggest fucking meltdown and headache in history to the point where I am actually terrified of seasoned animals now.
Well, I mean, that's the great news. I want to be the asshole.
You didn't deal with it. We did. So when we are telling you the way that we were explicitly told to deal with it, to do it correctly and legally, we're not happy. We weren't happy that this is the way it has to be. But it is the way it has to be in the way that we have been told. So to constantly stand there and say that we're happy that they're letting them be abused, it's fucking wrong. Because I'm getting tired of that because I'm one of the people who stood there and took the bullshit the first time. Yeah. So I want you to cut that attitude about that with Polito Pets and with me.
Jenny, there's no attitude.
Don't Jenny me. There's no fucking Jenny me. I'm tired of you saying to me all the time that we're happy with animal abuse because we're not. Because we fought about this and we fought about it several times. You weren't there. You don't know what happened. And all we are trying to do is support you through this, support you to get exactly what you want, which is exactly what we all want, which is the dog fucking taken from him.
I get that Lovesick should have worked on the paperwork.
Let's go.
If I had been on duty and I'd have known, I would have absolutely have made made sure that this paperwork had got done sooner, but
good.
I wasn't aware
Ramsey,
until
thank you.
yesterday until the vault. That was the first time I'm ever hearing of it, and I was trying to let you know from a legal standpoint of what you can and can't do with that dog, because as Jenny said, she's been involved in it. I also was involved in it, in that situation with Reed, and it was not pleasant to deal
Reed.
with.
It was
There was
rude.
targeted attacks on us because of it. There was baits and stuff set up in order to try and get the dog back. We had officers' canines that had hits put out on them because we tried to see someone's dog.
He knows all
And
about that.
we had
And that's
the
not
dog in our
even
possession for a while.
Yeah, and that's not even what was happening behind the scenes with the plethora of arguments we went through with DOJ, other officers, high command. All of that happened too. It was literally, believe me, because we did exactly what you wanted to do, and we just took the dog from Reed because our stance was yours. We don't want this person to be able to have this dog because he is abusing it. And it went to shit. And we do not want, and to the point where Reed got the dog back because we went that route. And that is the last thing we wanted for you and the dog that you were dealing with. We're not your enemies here. We are
Trying to
literally
protect
trying
you.
to support you.
I understand that, but I would rather take the consequences and take an animal away from somebody that's abusing it than not do anything at
You're
all.
not
And
listening to the end of that conversation. When we did that, he got the dog back.
So you
Because we
actually
we
might be doing the
actually
opposite of what you're
fucked
trying to
it.
do. Yeah.
We actually fucked it by taking it. And they literally destroyed the entire case for taking it.
And now he gets to keep the two dogs. The one that he seriously injured, that was skinny as hell,
Is that
was
that
on the
scuff
brink
dog?
of death, and then the dog that he stole off someone that we couldn't track back because we didn't have the original leash.
This is what I'm saying. We're not fucking you. We are telling you that we tried this. We did exactly what you wanted to do, and we lost the entire case. And that dog is still with Reed, and we can't do anything about it because we did it the way that you wanted to.
None of us are disagreeing that that's the way everyone would want to do it. But unfortunately, there's the thin line between the lawful way and the morally right way, I guess you could say.
It's literally legality versus morality. And believe me,
Yeah.
nearly everyone in this room would rather go the moral way. But unfortunately, that fucks the legal way.
Yeah, I absolutely hate the way that it is, and trust me, I want it changed just as much as you do. But at the same time, I also have to protect you guys and myself in this too, and the PD, because the last thing we need is another Reed situation where all the hits are on the canines and the officers involved.
Yes. Now, I know that that's the side that you were kind of going into more, Drainer, but more so the reason I brought this meeting up is because for me, it's less about the situation with the specific dog, but it's more to address you disobeying a superior. Because obviously that's one thing that we need to get out of you. And so from that perspective, I want to hear your perspective, Jenny, from that regard of like, did he listen to you? How hard was it to actually get the like lead back and all that kind of stuff?
I will say this much, that I will hear Drainer out every time, and I want to give him his chances because I do genuinely believe he's a fantastic officer, and I genuinely do think that he's an asset to us.
I agree.
And I work on a different relationship with Drainer than I do with the people, which is based on respect. And while I know it was disrespectful to Louise, he wasn't disrespectful to me. And once I made it clear that I was serious, he handed it back over. Because usually I know with Drainer that he will try and push my boundaries. But if I put it into a way that it is a respect thing, he's respectful to me.
Okay.
So I did get it back.
Can I add something to that? I mean, I was not going out of my way. Again, I know you said something on the scene about it, and I did hear that. That was the only time. I never saw anything about the 311s. Again, the whole thing was, I mean, the situation with that is, the whole thing with Lee was kind of complex, is all I can say. But after, I mean, it wasn't like I went and Campbell was like, don't do this. And then I was like, fuck Campbell, I'm going to do it anyway. Booba didn't, I never got the message that Booba, like when you 311 to Booba, I don't know if he made it clear at that time. I don't remember him necessarily saying anything. I think actually he did say, he said, if you want to take the dog, I'm not going to say anything. And I was just like, I don't know if he said anything before that. I was like, why? I was like, why wouldn't you? I'm going to go up there and say something anyway. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm not listening to Campbell because fuck her. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but do you also
that
understand that
literally
from her
never
perspective,
crossed-
the amount of times that she kind of tried to say it to you that it may
right.
seem like you were just being disrespectful.
Right. I mean, so and to go back on that, I did hear say it on the scene. I never saw any of the 3-on-1s. It was a pretty crazy situation. I mean, that situation literally didn't it didn't even end. They robbed the vault 30 minutes before the storm. I think we only got one of the suspects detained. We only got actually Lee Nova in cuffs by the time the storm hit. So it's like I didn't get an opportunity during that whole situation. The chase was going on the entire time. The whole across the room thing, reset, I ignored. I did not. I genuinely didn't hear you.
Okay, you're saying you heard it at least once, right? That you weren't supposed to take.
Yes.
Okay.
I will 100%. I did hear it once. I'm not going to deny that.
Okay, and with that once, why was that not enough for you to not take it and not respect your superior's orders?
Man, there was fuck. How do I say this? It was pre-established with Lee Nova that I told him I was going to take his dog after that court case, and he knew I was coming for it, and I was expecting retaliation for him to get his dog back from me.
Okay, so you realize it's something that's serious though, like with seizing a dog, that's a massive thing in this city, obviously, as we found out. And so it's not just going to end up being a one-on-one thing with you and the suspect, right?
It's
so
residence.
Yeah, and so if you heard from Louise here that you weren't supposed to seize it, but you thought it's just a one-on-one thing, why not go and try and find more information from Louise before you go ahead with doing the thing that
Candice?
she asked you not to do?
Candice? Yeah, at least I'm not the only one that heard it stop.
No! My mouse
Mimo,
fucking
sorry, I'll
died! Damn it. Oh, dear. Okay, you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so I don't know what you heard about in the question, but so what I was saying was, so did you hear me say about like it's not just a one-on-one thing with something so big?
We heard one-on-one and that was it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so with the things as a dog, it's such a big thing in the city, as we found out, that it's never just going to be a one-on-one thing. And with you already hearing Louise say, don't take the dog, why did you then go ahead and not even question Louise of like, why am I not allowed to take it? Why can I not do this at this point? And just go ahead and do it anyway.
I mean, like I said, it was so that was on the radio during the entire chase. The storm hit. It was like
I can't really see
like it wasn't
thing, unfortunately.
the continuation of that entire scene was kind of fucked up. It's like that we then had to wait for them down at MRPD. I started processing, and it was just like at that point I was like, oh, I got the dog. I don't know.
I announced it on the radio that you couldn't take it at the ball before the chase even started.
June, the 29 months. And you have admitted that you did hear at least once. And why is one still not enough?
I fucked up.
Okay.
Like, my thing is, like, I don't want to go against you, Drena. I'm the same with Jemmy. I really do think you can be a great cop. It's just, you know, it's kind of like the similar thing. It's the Rangers of the, you know, weather animal department, I guess, essentially. Like, you know, that's kind of our jurisdiction. You know, we know the most in that field. Just like HSPU with racing and boosting and air and stuff in the skies. Like, that's literally it. And, you know, you'll use them as the advice. And I was there giving you that branch saying, hey, this is not something that is to be done like that. Just to protect you more than anything else. I don't want to go against you. I don't want to be a bitch because you're trying to do a good thing. Believe me, there's not a lot of people in this police department that don't actually care for animals. In fact, I've had people that would shoot animals in this department, including people that have shot rats in the police department. So it's great to see. I just don't want us to get screwed over and it just be another Reed situation all over again.
Yes. Now, I know what your argument might be against rangers and that kind of stuff, but the fact of the matter is when someone becomes a ranger, they do have to do extra work and they do have to know the laws around animals and surrounding animals. And as much as they may not always be doing, you know, crimes that are involving animals, maybe that's because there isn't as many that always happen, that kind of stuff. They do know their shit, and they are the ones that have the say over animal cruelty and just anything that's to do with animals, really. Now, unless you guys have anything more to say, anyone?
No, I'm all clear on my side. What I will say is, I did tell Candice this when I told her I was unprofessional by shouting across the meeting room, and screaming that I'm a corporal and a ranger and you should be listening to me on that. So I do apologize for doing that in public. I should have done that in private. Or at least come to the side and split you in private.
Okay, great. So overall, I did ask Louise here if she, if we wanted to do some punishing for this. And as you kind of, you've become aware that you did fuck up a little bit here. It definitely could be, you are going to be receiving strike points, and it could definitely have been a 10 strike point thing, but I'm going to take into account the morality argument, and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt that you were going forward with your best intentions of trying to take the dog there. So I'm going to give you 5 instead, which is what Louise would like as well for the disobeying. As we figured out, even if it was once, it's still once is you need to at least talk to someone before going against it and doing something else, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so the taking the dog debate is probably worth another conversation to get on the same page and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to get the disobeying out of the way, and get the punishment out of the way before we do continue with any of that. So it will be 5 strike points for this, and I want you to make sure that you do not go ahead and do something if someone else told you not to. At least have a conversation first, okay?
Understood, ma'am.
All right, perfect.
In terms of adding on to this outside of thing, like the most of the civil forfeiture, Jenny called me yesterday about you being with the judge.
Yes, ma'am.
And I told Jenny about how we are putting proposals in about stuff to do with the polito pets, well, not polito pets side of it, but taking of animals and such as like getting a pet's license. I am unfortunately not the ranger dealing with that. That is Bunder. But I am absolutely pressing Bunder to see if that can hurry up and get sent through to the judges, because this has been in the works for weeks, with multiple updates to legislations and pet licensing being added. So I'm absolutely working on it to try and get this pushed through as quickly as possible to make it a little bit easier than having to go through polito pets. But it may be essentially that it's not going to be something open up to the whole PD to start with. It could just be that it's open up to the rangers in a specific rank and above in the rangers, just so that we can see how that works.
Instructions.
We don't actually have a lot of animal abuse go around in the city. It's like far few in between. I haven't really seen a situation since Reed. So it may just be it starts off with the rangers, but it may get opened up to other departments or other ranks outside of the rangers later on down the line.
That's enough, right?
If it becomes too much of a big thing. But it is getting worked on, I promise you that.
C's. Oh, it's E. Yeah, and if you want updates with that, then, feel free to talk to Louise or whoever else is involved with it.
Yeah, I'm always around to give updates.
Okay, I think that's everything, unless you've got more questions.
Nope.
Okay, perfect. I think this was a good conversation. Yeah, I think it was good. I understand your side of what you were trying to do there, but the disobeying thing, we need to address it at least. All right, I'm gonna get you striked now. It's just gonna be 5 strike points. I'm just gonna write disobeyed Louise's instructions to not seize a suspect's dog. Is that enough for you, or do you want me to anything else?
That's fine.
Perfect. Alrighty, that'll be 5 on there. And yeah, you're free to go about your day.
I'll get out of here because I've got a couple more things to deal with, just in case you guys need to chat more.
Okay.
I'm like head writing a report. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
You need me to leave? Just let.
No, you're fine. Honestly, you're fine.
For you, Journey. If you need me to leave, if you want to speak to Candice, just let me.
Was it really just one time you heard?
I swear to God, I literally only heard her the once.
Okay.
I mean, she could have audibly said it, but like I said, I'm not, I don't know. I feel like I owe it to you to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
And I don't, the only time I do remember saying something on the radio,
Yeah.
I never saw. I genuinely never remember anything about the 311s. I don't remember. Again, I don't remember anything coming across the room. It's not.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you honestly, just in case, because I know you're a stirrer and I know you might be a shitter and spin it slightly or whatever the fuck. So I trust that you're being honest. And honestly, I missed 311s myself, so I don't blame you for that.
I mean, it wasn't like I could even go back after the situation because the storm hit. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't reference it. So it's like even they could have told me that, hey, we said you're fired over 311s, and I would have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I mean, I can't judge you for that. Everyone misses 311s every now and then.
So,
but
I mean, especially during an active situation. I mean, the crazy, I don't know.
What? The crazy things, what?
Nothing. I mean,
no, go on. It's just us now.
It's open room. You can say what you want.
Exactly.
I feel like this is such a fucking stupid thing. I mean, it's like pet swords and cars, right? I mean, fuck, I hit two of the check boxes, and it's like, you know, every single person in the PD except for Aaron Carter and Doug Kurt, who were dealing with a separate 78 situation, ended up getting wiped on a scene. And it was like, okay, that being said, I was able to come down while they were fucking actively hunting me, make sure everybody got medical, impound all the cars, get the evidence. Carter helped me come back and document the scenes. And it's like, you know, I do all that and the situation pops off again. Same exact thing happens. It's just this time Ripley's on duty. So, and now it's just Doug Kurt, Ripley, and myself. PD gets wiped again by the Saints. And it's like, we end up going and it's like, you know, same shit. I have to go get the evidence. I got to collect it. I then tell everybody, like, we need to hold everyone. We need to fucking push every single thing we can. And it's like, this isn't me gloating, but it's just like, it's like I could be the best, like literally the best cadet out of any cadet. Put in the work, do the reports, do the raids, make sure fucking people get busted, all of this shit. But it's like,
it's because you pushed the boundaries.
Somebody's fucking dog that I took, that I pre-established with that person and made known it was okay, I was going to take his dog, turns into this.
Yep. It's dogs. I mean, you were right about the
It's not even, everybody's fucking offended on behalf of him. That's the crazy thing. He doesn't give a fuck.
But look, all of that what you just said is the reason why you've got people in here fighting for you. You know, all those things that you just said. And that's why I keep coming back and I'll keep trying to put out these fires. Because you are doing a good job. You just push the line sometimes and
I'm pushing the line for people who are virtue signaling over Ooh, I almost did it. I almost said some fucking wild shit right there.
I think like the thing is, I agree with you. I like the easiest thing would be to be able to seize the dogs.
Yeah,
and just take
I
it from
agree.
them and be like, you know what? Fuck you. You have animal cruelty. You don't get these dogs.
Yeah, 100%.
But holy shit! Whenever we go down this path, does it become the biggest headache that I get for at least a month straight? And every single time, I will tell you. Even on the outskirts of it, I come forward with suggestions. You heard me yesterday. I came forward with suggestions and I was immediately met with a brick wall of send it into JLJ and we'll review it.
Yeah.
And that's your brick wall every single time. And I'm like, hey, I last time I was on the, like, I fought both sides last time. Like Reed's dog was taken when he was actually feeding it. But it was taken because it looked skinny and because he had it in a house with meth in it. And it was a lot more complicated. But dude, the moment that dog went, it was a meltdown. Every single side.
He's doing it on purpose. He wants to be banned for some reason.
Everyone gets upset. Everyone screams at each other. Everyone thinks you're stepping on toes. It's ridiculous. And literally all I want, and I've wanted this since the first day it happened, is legislation that tells me exactly how I take a fucking pet.
Yep.
That's it.
But the thing is, everyone's down to do the paperwork, right? But you don't want it in the people's hands. So take it first, do the paperwork after. Like it's such a backward system.
Yeah, it's a backward system. And we tried that and they've been telling us for months. Like I can go call Cross now and he can be like, I put forward legislation months ago and it hasn't gone anywhere. And it's not the people who are fighting for it that that are stonewalled, and that's the most frustrating part. Because once you're stonewalled, there's nowhere to go.